Hey everybody, today is Monday, July 13th, and as you can tell by my voice, I just went through puberty. This is what I sound like when I have a chest cold. So here's a video to catch everybody up on what's been going on. Yeah, I do have a cold. It's in my chest, that's why I talk like this now. So there's been a lot of stuff going on the past couple of weeks. The garden has been growing, but sadly we've had tons and tons of rain, which has affected the garden in a negative way. Broccoli doesn't look like it's going to be there. Peppers, bell peppers aren't looking so good. I've gotten some green beans, sweet peas, a couple of cherry tomatoes, some of the zucchini. So we'll have to see how the other stuff comes. Maybe as we start getting some more drier weather here, some of the plants might perk up. But I'll take you outside and I'll show you what it looks like. I also have been completed my first 2 weeks on the job, the new job. It's a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. It's very physical, and you're on your feet for basically the entire 12-hour shift. Friday I came home, I was in such pain. I had been bit by a bumblebee on my day off. One of those big black and yellow ones that everybody says doesn't bite. Well, it did bite me. And the mark on my side where it bit me was probably almost the size of my shoe before it finally went down. I also had blisters on my feet from the shoes rubbing on my toes, so I had to go get new shoes that hopefully won't rub on my toes now. So it was a rough week. And during those 12-hour shifts at work, getting used to the routine, and then only because that was the training period, now I'm going to the full-time in the emergency room, which is going to be entirely different training. So I can't wait to start getting used to that routine, so I'll start to feel comfortable at work. Anyway, last week while I was at work, a storm passed through, and I had seen it through the windows. And I was peeking out the window looking at it, and I said, wow, that's a really, really bad storm. Well, when I got home, my yard had branches everywhere, and I had seen that happen one time before. And I thought it had been a tornado that came through, and of course the weather people said it was something called a wind shear or something. But in any case, I'd come home, saw all the branches, knew something had happened, and that's when I saw my neighbor's house, and they were on the news for the tree having fallen on it, squashed the crap out of the house. It's destroyed. Two of the cars that were in the driveway also got hit by the tree. So I have the video that I took. I walked over there and recorded some of it. They left on Friday, and they are going to go stay at a different cottage. My sister had let them stay in hers out back, temporarily till they decided what they wanted to do. And one of the cars is still here. The one, I guess, that was least damage was removed, but the one that's totally squashed is still sitting in the driveway. So yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, and on top of that, we had some devastation in our family because on the 4th of July, my son had taken the children to the fireworks, and when they came home about even less than an hour later, their door had been kicked into the apartment. A lot of items were stolen. Two of the worst items that they took was the family bird, which was a blue and gold macaw, and her name was Zoe. They stole her, and I had given him my younger brother who had passed away. He had given me his wedding band, and I had had it sized for my son for his wedding. It was a man's, had a couple of tiny diamonds in it. Wasn't really worth much. It was just the fact that it was my brother's ring, and they stole that. So yeah, that was absolutely heartbreaking. It makes me sick to my stomach to this day to still think about it. We put up, my son ran around and put up flyers everywhere for anybody to give information if they knew anything. And rumor on the streets is that they took the macaw. It was punks that broke in. They took the macaw thinking they were going to sell it. And that now that we put the flyers up and we've put it all over Facebook, there's been hundreds and hundreds of shares. We put it on Craigslist. Don't buy this bird if you see it. It's stolen. That they ended up killing the bird, and my son has begged for them to at least return it, leave it on his steps, so that him and the children could bury it. And actually, the neighbors that we had thought had done it ripped down the signs, the lost bird signs, and they put up these stupid cardboard cutouts of birds, and they wrote R.I.P. on them, which my grandchildren saw, and they were devastated. It's kind of hard to explain to children how adults can be so cruel and evil. There's just no really words for it. So it's been a very busy couple of weeks. Like I said, I've just had a couple of days off, and I spent it mostly on the couch trying to recover from this cold that I picked up. every so often I'll get one of these summertime colds, and they just absolutely stink. It started out with I started sneezing, and thought maybe it was just something in the air, and it would spread really quick into my sinuses, and I started taking Benadryl like crazy, and it dropped down into my chest. So it's just now starting to go away. Hopefully tonight when I go to work, it'll be calmed down a bit. But it's been about 3 days I've had it. So what I intend to do now is I'm going to take you outside, show you the garden, do a little update on what it looks like, and then I'm at some point going to have to splice together the video I took of the tree that fell in the cottage, which, by the way, the people across the street were in their garage. They had the overhead garage door open, and they were filming the storm as it came in and actually caught that tree falling down on the house and squashing it. And then we were told later it was a water spout that had come out, which, if anybody's ever seen a water spout, it looks like a baby tornado on the lake. But whatever it was, it brought that tree down, squashed the house, and brought down quite a bit of branches in the area. Thank God nobody was hurt. So that's what's been going on. Seems that time is going by so fast you can't keep up with it. You go for periods of time where you just say it's the same old, nothing new, nothing new, and then all of a sudden, just so much is happening. It's hard to keep up on it. So let me put the kibosh on this part right here, and then we'll take you outside and show you the garden. Well, look at what we have here. Probably ain't gonna see him. And by the time I run in the house to get my camera, it's either an osprey or an eagle sitting up there. From this vantage, I'm thinking, by the shape of his head, it's an osprey. He's huge. Yeah, that's an osprey's head, okay. I saw him one time before and thought he was an eagle until I zoomed in and saw the shape of his head, but from here, his head is black. So, I'm guessing that's an osprey. Well, there you have it. That was the tour of the garden. Um, the flower beds around my house, my pear tree and the apple tree, pear tree, and the apple tree are both dwarf trees. And typically the apple tree never has any apples on it, but this year it is loaded, so I'm interested to see if we actually end up with any apples. I'm pretty sure they're Macintosh if I remember right. And the pears, we used to be able to eat them, but lately the squirrels have discovered them. And I've already seen them. They're running by, even though they don't have any flavor or anything to them at this point. They just taste kind of woody. The squirrels don't care. They're eating them anyway. So every day I see squirrels running by with pears in their mouths. And I've had people suggest spraying the pear tree with hot sauce and some other stuff. Trust me, none of that stuff works. So, yeah. It doesn't look like we're going to have any pears. The planter in the backyard with the tomato plants, those were some plants that had come up on their own as I was actually working to plant the garden this year. Some seeds had come up on their own, which they typically do. So I don't even know what kind of tomatoes those are. I think by the shape of the leaves, they're heirloom tomatoes. So it'll be interesting to see what I grew in the pot in the backyard. Patio tomatoes, they call them. So as you saw, the garden was kind of in rough shape, but their zucchini seems to be doing good this year. So I already had some of them. I put them in my spaghetti sauce, slice them up and put them in spaghetti sauce. It's pretty good. And then, of course, I got that bird that was up in the tree. I'll put the pictures in the that I took a still shot, a couple still shots. Got one of them as he started to fly off the branch. My eyesight's horrible, so hopefully I can see what it is. I think it's an osprey, but it was big. I don't think it was an eagle. It didn't have a white head, I don't think, so we'll see when I review the film. But there's the garden update, what I've been up to, and that's about it. So I guess I'll see you all later.